Hello everyone, Simo here. While the developers of the Isle have been off for the holidays, the Isle has become more popular now than it has ever been. Just this past week, we have broken the record for the highest number of concurrent players online for the Isle, reaching 6,600 players on. It is clear that people want to play this game. The devs have had a blockbuster December, releasing teasers, trailers, and Dondi let slip an estimated ETA for the rebuild. I can only imagine how much this player base is going to grow in the upcoming year. So far we are breaking records and all the new stuff hasn't even begun to drop yet. With so many people looking forward to Valentine's Day 2020, which is when the rebuild is expected to drop, we should take a look at what we will be getting on that day. It is important we remember that we have much more to look forward to in later updates, but let's go over what we have found that could be on day one. The dinosaurs we will most likely be getting on launch day are the Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, Ceratosaurus, Dinosuchus, Diabloceratops, the Dilophosaurus, Dryosaurus, Giganotosaurus, the Galley, Maiasaura, Pachycephalosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Pteranodon, Spinosaurus, Stegosaurus, Suchomimus, Triceratops, Troodon, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the Utah Raptor. I got this from one of Ravenous's videos, where we see one of the developers, Brian, is working on the dynamic growth for all of these listed dinosaurs, implying that this is what has to be done for the day one release. It's not 100%, but I think that looks like a realistic lineup. Many of the dinosaurs have gotten model tweaks to accommodate the seamless growth and sexual dimorphism, but in addition to all that new animation, which will give the dinosaurs a smoother movement as well, some animations have been totally reworked, like the T-Rex animations and the Giga, which is being totally revamped by Dondi himself overseeing the work. Utah Raptor will finally have its pounce, and we'll have some nasty little cosmetic details for the carnivores, such as mouths being bloody after eating. Dinosaurs will also lose their voice if they make too many calls, sounds will be different between walking and running, and noise will be heard properly based on where the camera is. And another little tidbit, character customization will be changed, although I haven't been able to find any info on what will be different about it. Now if you've seen my other videos, you know we'll be getting new maps. We should be getting Isla Sparrow and the new Thenya map on day one. These new maps will replace the current ones in the game, V3 and Thenya, before the rebuild is dropped. Make sure you guys appreciate the final days you have to play them. Now along with the map, the game has all new custom foliage, so all of it is custom assets, everything from the trees to the shrubs. The game will also now sport a fancy new dynamic weather system, which will help the weather seem much more realistic, and it'll be enhanced by an upgraded lighting system as well. Now, all of that is hardly the tip of the iceberg, though. Everything we know about these dinosaurs has changed, so we will cover all the new features I think will drop with the rebuild. It is important we remember this all did start with the recode. Everything that got this whole rebuild started was out of sight in the game's code. The game was like a badly wired mess a year ago. Every time the developers would release an update, they would have to spend a ton of time patching all the new bugs that would spring up. Some features have been forced to go unimplemented because they would cause game-breaking issues that could not be allowed to continue. Now the game code is completely overhauled using a new version of the Unreal Engine, which will allow them to make more frequent updates that won't have to be patched a bunch of times right out the gate. Also, the assets are optimized to eliminate many redundancies which lag the game, so even though the game looks better than ever, the combination of all this behind the scenes work will make the Isle easier to run on every PC. So it's much welcomed news for those like myself who are running less than spectacular computers. Collision will also be a thing, a massive alteration to the core gameplay. As it currently stands, dinosaurs just pass through one another, but on day one that will be in the past. If you charge into the side of a dinosaur, you are going to hit that dino and stop in place. The gameplay changes go even deeper than that. Seamless growth will make it so you never have to push that grow button again. A new bleed mechanic will take away from your stamina pool instead of directly away from your health points. As you suffer bleed damage, your stamina bar will fill with blood until you can no longer carry on, and it is implied that your dinosaur will lie down and perhaps pass out. Bone Break's also being reworked, and we don't know much of any specifics on exactly how yet, but I know it will be a welcome change. We have heard the developers mention an Allosaurus grapple in the past, and we also know you won't be able to bite through walls, trees, or other solid objects anymore. Alt Turn, which is a button that allows your dino to turn in place, is being replaced by a quick turn mechanic, where not only will you be able to turn around, but you can use it in combat to quickly change direction and sort of drift around an opponent. A lot of promising stuff, but it remains to be seen to what lengths combat's going to be changing when everything's all said and done, so we gotta make sure we keep an eye on all of the new stuff coming from the devs. In my last video, we did get a chance to sneak peek at something that was going on in the dragging mechanic being implemented, which will allow dinosaurs to pick up bits of food or entire bodies depending on whether or not they'll be able to handle that weight. This will also give dinosaurs the ability to swallow prey whole, such as Utah Raptor being able to just swallow a whole compy, or maybe something like a T-Rex eating a human. Now with that being said, Gore is also getting a grotesque facelift, where bodies decay. Not only are the ribs left rotting, but the skull of the animal will be present as well. All the while being surrounded by those little chirping dinos, the compy, which will act as a cleanup crew for abandoned corpses. If a body goes down in the water, however, have no fear. Starting with the rebuild, those bodies will now float and drift towards shore, so we may have some beach scavengers. Now, it's important we talk about fishing mechanics. Now, I know we've been really excited for this one, but I don't think we're getting this one on the day of the rebuild. The developers have shown little to no work on it, and we only know it's planned to come soon, so hope for fishing and fish on day one, but don't be surprised if it isn't coming until a later update. Now, new nesting seems to be something we'll be getting. We will have a new system for nest invites, which will most likely be selectable from the character selection screen. Either way, people won't be spamming nest invites anymore. Also to note is the high probability that if you wish to nest once the rebuild drops, you will need both male and females involved in the nesting process. And your little juveniles' movements have been improved to allow them to keep up with the herd of adults so that the group of dinosaurs may move at a reasonable pace without leaving all the babies behind. And sexual dimorphism will be visual differences between the males and females of each species. We have only seen what this means for the para, as the male crest is much longer while the female's is curved behind the head. There will be no size differences, however. It appears so in the Hope trailer, but we got clarification that those two paras are just different ages. Now, what is coming after the rebuild is dropped, we can only speculate. We know most of the dinosaurs will be coming incrementally over the course of a year or more. A good portion of them will be playable, but keep in mind, a number of these dinosaurs will be AI creatures. It has been said for that the 14 new unannounced dinosaurs, half of them will be AI, and all of them will be smaller than the Ceratosaurus. We have confirmed Hypsilophodon, which will have feathers. This will be one of the 3 new feathered dinos we get in the game. The feathers will look and behave much like Saurian's feathered dinosaurs. we will be getting a playable sauropod and a new hadrosaur, along with Troodon, which is one of the 3 venomous dinos. Venom may come with the initial update, but it is hard to say because we've gotten so little information on this new mechanic. The same can be said for the locational damage. This may come with the rebuild release, but the devs have stayed quiet regarding its development. However, Dondi's second in command have said that while the dev team was quiet in 2019, the opposite will be true for 2020. So happy new year to everyone. We have a lot to be excited about. Once the dev team get back from vacation next week, we have some great dev streams to look forward to, and the Dondi will be let loose. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, it really helps promote the channel, and if you want to get more of the Isle news and coverage on other dinosaur games, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. That is it for now. I hope you are all welcoming the new year with some fun and cheer. Peace, guys.